In this video we're going to look at repetition structures in Python, specifically the while loop and the for loop. So let's firstly take a look at the while loop. So the while loop is a condition controlled loop, causes a statement or set of statements to repeat as long as the condition is true. So the condition in a while loop is this part here. We have our keyword while, we have a semicolon, and any statement inside the loop is indented. Once it's out, a statement is outside that indentation, it is outside the while loop. So in this while loop here, we're initializing the user input variable to 2. Then we're checking if the user input variable contains a number less than 5. If it does, that'll be true, which means it'll execute the 2 statements here. If it is false, it'll jump outside the loop, and this line will get executed here because it is outside the loop. So let's run this program. Firstly, without the break statements, enter a number less than 5, 2, and it'll continue to go through the while loop as long as we enter a number less than 5. But if we enter a number greater than or equal to 5, maybe 6, it's going to break out of this loop and execute this line here. This block of code is commented out here. So it's executed outside the loop as you entered 6, which is this line here. Let's run the with the break statements, so in debug mode. Okay, we're at this line here, continue, get the user input 3, enter, print. It's printed that out. You can see it's gone back up to the top, checking the condition there. Is that number less than 5? We just entered 3. So that is less than 5. So going into the block statements there, get the user input, print it out, then go back up to the top and check the condition. Is that number less than 5? Yes, it is. So it's going to go back into the loop. This time I'm going to enter a number greater than 5, so maybe 7. Wrong place. Let's enter it here. Enter. It's going to print that out there, but then it's going to go back up to the top. Check the condition. User input less than 5. Is that true or false? This time it is 7, which means user input is holding the number 7. That's greater than 5, so this condition here is false. So let's see what happens. Continue. We can see it's jumped out of that loop, outside the loop, and printed the first line outside the loop here. So outside the loop as you entered 7. So that's how a while loop will work. It checks a condition. It's a condition controlled loop. Let's get rid of that. Let's comment out this block here. And let's now try this for loops. So a for loop is a count controlled loop. Iterates a specific number of times. Notice the difference. Count controlled loop versus a condition controlled loop. So this will iterate a specific number of times. So we can see here the difference here. It's not checking a condition, it's looping over a series of numbers in this case. We can loop over a number of different things, but in this particular case we're looping over a sequence of numbers. This part here, all it does is give a sequence of numbers starting at 1 all the way up to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And each time through the loop or iteration, I is going to be equal to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then it's going to finish that loop. So let's run this code here. We can see it just iterates a specific number of times. I is there, and we can see I is equal to 1 in the first iteration, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do the debug and with the breakpoints there. So we're here, then we're here. It's printed out the first one there in the first iteration, then it's gone back up to the top. The second, third, all the way up to 9. Then it breaks out to the loop, breaks out of the loop, and continues down the page, executing statements here. So that is a quick guide to repetition in Python using the while loop and the for loop.